Thermal and Yamato. The difference between these two flavors is... Alright, and we are live. So greetings and salutations, people of the internet, and welcome to the bar. I am Sippy, your humble bartender and entertainer for the current time being. And we are going to get right into what's on tap. So what's on tap is our new weekly feature where we're going to be discussing what it is that we played over the course of the last week, what it is that we vaped over the course of the last week, what it is that we drank over the course of the last week, and all of those things that we're going to be doing into the coming week. Alright, now, before we get into our actual, what we've been doing over the course of the week, what we've been drinking, what we've been vaping, quick note, I am not sponsored by any of the brands that I'm going to be discussing, although I would like to be sponsored by Zamplebox. I'm not going to deny that fact in the least. All of the alcohol reviews and the vaping reviews are purely meant for those that are of appropriate age, given your region, to enjoy those things. So, all that said, let's get right into what it is that we've been doing over the course of this week. So, as far as games go, first and foremost, our main game has been Breath of the Wild, or as Dom has been calling it, Shrine Simulator 2018. This week, we finally got the Master Sword, which is pretty fucking exciting, because now I finally have a weapon that's not going to break every 5 goddamn minutes. Downside is, it does require a recharge period after you use it for so long. So instead of breaking, it needs to recharge, and that recharge is actual game time, not just let's sit in the pause menu for 10 minutes. We haven't taken on any new divine beasts, but we have gotten just under half of the shrines found. I think we only have one main area to open up. Additionally, you guys helped decide the name of our newest horse being Scatatat. This was after some discussion with you guys and me deciding that no, I am not going to name my horse Shithead. Moving on for... So that does it for Breath of the Wild main game this week. Moving on to First Drink Friday. First game that we tried out, because we tried out 4. We tried out 5. Between Rage Inducing and Uber Short, were able to pull out 5 games this week. The first one was One-Eyed Kutka. One-Eyed Kutka is a nice little point-and-click adventure. I knocked it out in about 30 to 45 minutes. For what it wasn't a bad game. Puzzles weren't super difficult to figure out. As you can see here, there isn't any actual dialogue. You see the little word bubble over his head. Well, that's how everybody communicated to everybody. It was super short, like I said, 30 to 45 minutes. After that, I moved on to Alteric. Now, this was completely the opposite from the game that I played before it. Whereas One-Eyed Kutka was a calm and relaxing point-and-click adventure, this was a puzzle platformer. It was going for kind of the look of Thomas Was Alone without any of the narrative. And none of the control scheme either. The block that you played with, well, the block controlled more like a freaking ball that was covered in ice. And when you're looking at a game that's requiring you to have some precise platforming elements, you need solid controls, and Alteric does not have it. I cannot recommend it in the least. It did have some of the things that one of our games from last week, Invert, was lacking. And that was, it did have sound for when you swapped dimensions. It did have sounds when you jumped. It did have sounds when you died. The jump sound actually sounded like Link from Ocarina of Time. Just that, heh, heh. And it got super, super annoying. After I may or may not have rage quit that one, I tried out Evil Cogs, which I didn't even bother to put up here, nor did I bother to get any video for it, because we played it for about 10 fucking minutes, and that game is a mobile port. And it's terrible. You press 2 buttons, A or D, and that moves you left or right, and that's it. And it's got kind of a Flappy Bird movement to it. It's awful. I played the first level, and after that it was just like, nope, fuck this game, we're done. After all the rage, I decided to try out Super Inefficient Golf. And this is all still on Friday, guys. I tried out Super Inefficient Golf. I loved this one. Not only was it just pure catharsis and enjoyment because it's playing golf, it's playing mini golf with bombs. Also, I happened to get on top of the leaderboards, the world leaderboards on one of the courses, which is a first for me in fucking anything. Like last week was the first time that I ever got a first place finish in Mario Kart. This week is the first time I got on top of a world leaderboard for something. It's incredibly fun. The 18th hole was a load of bullshit, but not unfair bullshit. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. After that, the last game that we played on First Drink Friday was Neon the Ninja. Full disclosure for this one, for Neon the Ninja, I know the dev. I interviewed him at last year's MomoCon. He's on our Discord. I talk to him on Twitter fairly often. He's a great guy. The game is good, but if you play it, prepare for rage. I died a lot. Like I beat the Pope, which is one of the bosses. I beat one phase for oh shoot, it was Neo Cleopatra. I beat one phase for her, but could never beat the second. This boss right here, this is the Recluse, and I was able to beat the first phase of him, but the second phase was just unbelievable. And I could not conquer it at all. The gameplay, though, it's good gameplay. Controls are solid. It's unforgiving, so you gotta get good, and you gotta get good fast. Highly recommend it if you're looking for like kind of a Mega Man, but with more one-on-one combat kind of feel. And that does it for First Drink Friday. Now, before we get into beer, Sippy and Dom did not do the Sippy and Dom show. Dom has had kind of a rough week, and he needed the day off. So instead, Sippet surprised me by saying, let's watch Thor Ragnarok. So we watched Thor Ragnarok, finally, and I played more Breath of the Wild. As far as tasty adult beverages, since that's what we're going into now with the beer, the first thing, the main drink that I had all this week was Southern Pecan from Lazy Magnolia. It's a nice change of pace. So if you were here at the beginning and you saw last week's What's on Tap, you heard me talk about how I'm a hophead and I happen to really like my IPAs. Well, Southern Pecan is a brown ale, so getting away from the hoppy feel for a much smoother, nuttier taste. Obviously it should be nutty, it has pecans in the title of it, right? But it's a good brown ale, nice and smooth, not at all heavy, and thoroughly delicious. Something else that Sippet surprised me with was Viking Blood from Dansk Mjød, and this one I'm gonna, camera please, this one I'm actually gonna hang on to the bottle for a while because it's a cool looking bottle. It's a honey wine, also known as a mead, with hibiscus and hops, and it, seriously camera, what the fuck are we doing today? It fucking wrecked me. I don't normally drink wine, and even more rarely will I drink mead, which is a kind of wine. And I have a good reason for that. While beer I can drink, and I can drink that all day long, and I'll feel okay in the morning so long as I drink a decent amount of water. Wine always makes me feel horrible in the morning. It drinks super smooth though, deceivingly smooth at that. I drank half a bottle on Friday during stream and the other half of the bottle on Saturday. Both times I woke up the next day feeling like I had this weight in the back of my skull that was just pounding on the back of my head. But it was easily alleviated with some coffee and water. And at $25 a bottle, I think that I'll pass on it until such an occasion arises that I feel it's worthwhile to feel miserable in the morning. Moving on to vape juice this week, as I've said before, I subscribe to Zamplebox, which is great. It's a fantastic deal, 3, 5, or 11 bottles of vape juice a month for, I believe it's 25, 35, or 55 bucks a month. And this week, I sampled from Citricity Peach Limeade and the Kilo Standard Series Mixed Berries. Of the two, the Kilo is definitely my preferred. It's fruity, sweet, not overly fruity, not overly sweet. Whereas the Citricity Limeade, well, Peach Limeade is what it's supposed to be, but the Limeade was a lot stronger, had way, way, way too much lime, and it had this weird aftertaste that kind of reminded me of lemon fresh pine sol. In order to make it more bearable, actually, I would drip in the mixed berries to try and lighten that up. Moving on, that's going to do it for last week, so let's go into the upcoming week. Before we go into games, this is where I still would like to show off our clip of the week, and really the only clips that I got this week were ones that I made, so that wouldn't be the most unbiased opinion, because it's, well, which one is my favorite of the ones that I made? But if you guys tune into the stream, when you guys tune into the stream, clip the hell out of it, submit those things onto the Discord, into our clips and videos page. I will watch all of them and review all of them, and my favorite and the most watched will be featured at this point every week in What's on Tap. For as far as games go, we are going to be continuing with Breath of the Wild on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday night from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. I'm going to go ahead and take on the Divine Beast, or the next Divine Beast, in the Rito area, which is the bird people, and the bird people, of course, have a bird beast. So my goal for tonight's stream, starting 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, is going to be taking on that Divine Beast, or at the bare minimum, starting the main quest line that gets me into that Divine Beast. Sweat with Sippy is going on hiatus. I haven't been getting the best of sleep and been skimping on my morning workouts because of the fact that I need to factor in some extra time to do the setup for Sweat with Sippy in the morning. So I will not be doing Sweat with Sippy for a little while. I will be continuing to do my workouts. I'll just be doing them without recording them, without streaming them. And I will also be adding some afternoon workouts with Sippette. We'll be doing some cardio shit in the evenings. Now for First Drink Friday, this is one I'm super, super excited about. We got a key for Steam World Heist. It has been out for a while. It's been out since, I believe, 2015, but it's now on Switch. It came out on Switch back in December, and the devs went ahead and sent me a Switch key, so I'll get to try it out there. And before I talk any more about it, let's go ahead and check out the preview video for this, which I actually have not myself watched.
In a broken world, danger does not wait its turn. Except it does. It's turn-based. Join Rogue Captain Piper Faraday and face the challenges of the vast frontier. With free aiming instead of dice rolls, your skill makes all the difference. Use your surroundings to pull off fantastic trick shots. Treat yourself to a smorgasbord of missions. Face unparalleled monstrosities. Bullets will bounce. Things will explode. Turn up the steam for the heist of the century.
Now, a couple of cool things with that one, in addition to the fact that it just looks awesome. It's a turn-based game, and I happen to like classic turn-based games. I do know that if you were to play it in undocked mode, which I can't stream in undocked mode, you can use the touchscreen to help with the aiming. Additionally, it is a direct sequel to the SteamWorld Dig game. and so there will be minor spoilers for SteamWorld Dig if you haven't played that one. I've played it, but never through to completion, and I've never streamed it. That was more of one that me and the little monster, my son, we've played off-stream just for funsies. So this week for the Sippy and Dom show, before we get into Tasty Adult Beverage, we're going to be playing more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, unless, of course, I happen to get a key for the Darwin Project. Now, Dom already has the Darwin Project, and if you're not familiar with the Darwin Project, that is a survival battle royale game, and it looks a lot like Fortnite if Fortnite also had survival stuff in it. But if I don't get that key, then we're not going to be trying that out. Dom might, but I won't. And instead, I will continue to bring those blue sparks in Mario Kart 8. Moving on to Tasty Adult Beverage, and let's talk about beer. And let's talk about how much of it I'm not going to be drinking this week. So, unless there's some major change that occurs for us in the course of this week, I will be drinking on either water or soda or the occasional mixed drink, which this one is, this right here is Jameson and Dr. Pepper, which is absolutely delicious, I might add. But unless anything changes, I'm not going to be drinking any beer this week, mostly just water. And the reason for that is we rent rooms, and one of our tenants gave us notice, so we aren't getting rent from him, and our tenant's rent is our fund money. So unless we get a new tenant in, or Twitch decides to hit me up with a payout sometime soon, which I don't think they will, then water, soda, tea, that's going to be it from the bartender. Now, you wonderful bar patrons are more than welcome to continue enjoying your tasty adult beverages in lieu of me doing so myself, obviously. Moving on to vape juice. This week I will be vaping on mango berries from Confections, as well as Shakes Vapes Shamrock Shake. I realized that the Shamrock Shake would have been better for St. Patty's Day week, but I didn't realize that I had it, or I didn't remember that I had it, because I get a box of 11 different juices. So I didn't think well enough ahead. I have already been starting on vaping both of those, but I will leave my review of them until next week. And also, because of the fact that I've been vaping on both of those, I'm realizing that I'm probably going to be doing 3 a week as opposed to just 2 a week. So if we get into a third one, I will be trying out Blue Raz Splash. Finally, before we start closing things out, quick note about MomoCon, quick reminder about MomoCon. MomoCon is a convention covering comics, animation, and gaming, taking place from the 24th through the 27th in Atlanta. My good buddy Dom, who's the other founding member of the Talking Box, is also known as Poison TV DE. Both of us will be there. This down here is to help fund us for our going. We'll be there repping the Talking Boxes. I will be interviewing members of the games development community. Hopefully Dom will be joining me in doing those interviews. Otherwise, he's just going to be fantastically British for the weekend. Would love to see you guys come out there. You can get more info on MomoCon at momocon.com. You can check out my interviews from last year on the YouTube channel and also on Twitch. Their tickets are currently on sale. Would love to see you guys out there and hang out with you guys. And maybe also hang out with more game devs while we're doing so. Now, if you aren't already, do pop into our Discord. For those of you in the live chat, there's the link for it right there. Do pop in on our Discord. Also keep an eye on the Twitter and the Instagram for regular updates and what's going on in the world and life and times of Sippy. Share the stream, share your clips, share our Discord, bring all of your awesome friends into the community, because our community grows not just because Dom and I are out here every day on Twitch trying to keep you guys excited and interested in the stuff that we're playing, but because you guys tell your friends to come check us out too. All of that being said, let me go ahead and say thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to another great week of content. Looking forward to more Breath of the Wild and, of course, SteamWorld Dig at the end of the week. And I look forward to sharing all of that with you. And as always, I raise my glass to you. Laters. Camera's just like, nah, fam, I don't want to do my job today. Just fuck you. Focus is not important whatsoever if you're the camera. We'll just do whatever the fuck we want.